Hello guys, and welcome to another video in this Forces of War, Flames of War force building series for Vlogmas. We are getting through these quite thick and fast, so as you might be aware, this is a 100-point list building video taken from the books themselves. Now today we're going to focus on the German IR lists, so the infrared lists, obviously themed around the very latter ends of the war. So we're going to go to New Force, we're going to go down to Berlin German, and then there's a few options. We've got the Clausewitz Panther IR, the Clausewitz Stug, or the Clausewitz Panzersturm Company. I'm going to go with the Panzersturm Company, or Sturm Company, however you pronounce that. So we can see we've got the Clausewitz Panzersturm Company HQ. So we can see that for the HQ it's going to cost 5 points. What do you get? You get 2 STG-44s and 1 SDKFZ 251, which is just a half track. They are reluctant, so their motivation is 5. Their skill is a 3+, and they are hit on a 4. The STG-44 gives you a range of 8, so it's an assault rifle, rate of fire 3 when moving and halted. And they also have a Panzerfaust, which is 4 inches, rate of fire of 1 moving and halted. Anti-tank of 12, firepower of 5+. They are slow firing, so if you move with it, you're going to have to roll an additional +1, I think, to hit. But they also, so the half track comes with infrared IR. Infrared IR, if we look here, I was looking at this article on the Flames War website, which I can leave a link to in the description if you want to see it. You see, infrared IR unit with IR rolls 2 dice on the night visibility table and chooses the highest score. Does it have an infrared searchlight? No, so just IR. So that's what the IR does. That SDKFZ gives you the same stats, a counter attack, and their remount is terrible, their assault is terrible, their front armor is 1, side and rear is 1, top 0. The MGs give you rate of fire of 4 when moving and halted, anti-tank 2, firepower 6. They also act as a self-defense AA, or you can go with the 2 cm variant, range of 20 cm, rate of fire of 3, moving 2, but the anti-tank is 5 and the firepower is 5+. So I think because it's the HQ, let's give it the 2 cm op variant, and it costs no extra points to do so. Then we can go ahead and give it the Clausewitz Panzersturm Platoon. So the Sturm Platoon gives you 7 STG-44s plus 4 SDKFZs for 13 points, 5 and 3 for 10, or you can just take them without their half tracks for 10 and 7. But for the sake of this list, I think we should get some half tracks. So we can go 13 of those, 13 points for those, replace one with a 2 cm, which I'm going to do. And then you can add an UU half track, which I think is just stands for owl in German. So we can add one of those. What does the UU give us? It's not on here, but if we have a look at this page that we looked at before, the STKF tank is sent to the rear at the beginning of their first movement step, in which the game is fought in daylight. Whose fashion does not count as destroyed if bailed out, blah blah blah. A tank is brought forward at the beginning of their first move step, in which the game is fought at night. Before moving an infrared equipped unit, you may place its SKU on the table. They must be placed within 4 inches of a team from the unit and may not be within, within 4. Once brought in this way, the SKU must move at dash speed and therefore cannot shoot a soul, but may illuminate a target. And then I'm assuming it will have this IR searchlight, which means instead of shooting, illuminate a target in the line of sight within 32 inches. To do this with a unit with an infrared searchlight does not need to roll for a night visibility and can automatically see out to 32 inches. All units within the IR, all units with infrared, so the IR, so the half tracks, and even the infantry in this case, may shoot at the target without rolling for night visibility. Hits may be allocated to teams from the same unit within 6 inches of the target team. Okay, that's interesting. So actually, for a point, they're actually really, really worth taking, especially if you're fighting at night. Okay, so that's good to know. So we're going to do that for an additional point. We can also take the Clausewitz Armored Panzergren Platoon, but you don't get the IRs with these. You do get the half track, but you just don't get them with the infantry because they've just got the MG-42. So if you wanted to be, if you'd rather the MGs over the STGs, then that's obviously a viable option, especially because you get double the range. But the STG-44s are going to be good if you wanting to get nice and close and personal. Then you can take, or you have to take, the Clausewitz armored triple 15mm flak platoon or the armored 2cm flak platoon. So the triple 15cm gives you reluctant 5, counterattack 6, veteran 3, assault 5, careful on a 4+, the hit, front and side 1 and top 0. The triple 15mm, imagine centimeter. The triple 15mm gives you rate of fire of 3 when moving, halted 5, anti-tank 5, firepower 5+. It obviously counts as AA. 6 for 6 points. If we go to the 2cm variant, you get 6 for 5 or 3 for 2. Stats remain identical. Rate of fire of 3, 2, and then 5 and 5. So I think for the sake of 1 point, let's go and you get an additional one. I'm going to go 6 of these. This is 25 points. Now this is where it gets very, very interesting. We can, depends what we want to do. Do we want to make this, even though it's a mechanized company, do we want to make this more tank based or more light infantry, medium tank based? And I think I'm going to go with the heavier side of things. But with that in mind, I am going to go to the artillery bit here, and let's have a look what we can take. So we've got the Clausewitz armored 7.5cm tank hunter platoon or the 7.5cm gun platoon. So the tank hunter platoon, you get 6 Pak 40 half tracks for 18 points. The stats all remain the same as what we've already seen, but they do get the Pak 40 at 32 inches, rate of fire of 2 or 1 when moving, anti-tank of 12, and firepower of 3+. That's a very good gun. But the 7.5cm gun, you get 6 for 6 points, 24 inches, anti-tank 9, firepower of 3+. I think that's a no-brainer. 6 for 6 points, that is almost too cheap. Yes, they're not anti-tank 12, but 9 is going to cause some serious damage to the allied lists, especially with some of the lighter vehicles. So I think 6 for 6 points is almost, you'd be crazy not to take those over the 7.5cm tanks. But then this is where I'm going to make up for it. So we can either take the Panthers with the IRs, the Jagd Panthers with the IRs, or the Stug or the Battle Group Panthers. So let's ignore the last two because they don't have IRs. Clausewitz Panther gives you 3 for 29 points. You can also add an UU. I'm probably pronouncing this all wrong, by the way, so please correct me in the comments. Motivation 5, skill with a 3+, they hit on a 4, but their front armor is 10 because these are the Panther Gs. So I think their front armor increases just a little bit compared to the A. Side and rear 5 and top 1, anti-tank of 14, firepower of 3+. Alright, so let's keep that in mind. Let's just go back to the Jagd Panther. So 3 for 27 points, the front armor is 9, so it's not as good. Side and rear 5, top 1, anti-tank 17, firepower 3+. This is going to have to deal with anything. Was the Panther the same? Anti-tank 14. Just trying to think, what's the heaviest front armor we're going to go up against? It's probably an IS-2. Okay, so IS-2 has a front armor of 10, so it's obviously going to be going up against... or 9, I can't remember, 9 or 10, so it's going to go up against something probably heavy. If it comes up against a King Tiger, for example, say you're going on German versus German, they got King Tigers, you're going to be struggling. Even with the Jagd Panther, they're really difficult to destroy, those King Tigers. But I like Panthers, and I think I like the front armor additional 1. So let's go 3 of those for 29 points. But we will add in the UU. The OW. I'm just going to start calling it the OW. Right, so that's 61 points for our core formation. Do we want some mortars? Let's just have a look what else we can cram in. So we do need some... I feel like we need some tanks to complement those Panthers, but we don't need something super, super heavy. So we could go Panzer 4s. 4 of those for 16 points. So reluctant 5, remount on a 4. Veteran is 3, careful 4. Anti-tank of 11, firepower 3+. Okay, 4 for 16 points. That's doable. We don't need anything super heavy. I want to try and keep it more mechanized themed. Panzer 4 70s. They're just not. We could go the Hetzer training platoon. 4 for 11. We could even go. What if we went? So 4 Hetzers, front armor is 7, so it's better than a Panzer 4. Side and rear 3, anti-tank 11, 3 plus firepower. So we went 4 of those for 11 points. Confident 4, so the skill is 5, okay, and they hit on a 3. Alright, that's why they're so cheap. But still, let's just bear with me. So if we do that, then we go the Clausewitz Panzersturm, that's 16 points. That takes us to 88. Then we need some artillery. Oh, I do fancy a Hummel battery. 3 for 12. Okay, that's 100 points. That is a tasty looking unit so far. But do we really need the Hetzers? We've got... The Hetzers might just be good cannon fodder. This would definitely be a good aggressive list. But we need an OP, we need reconnaissance. So if we were to ditch the Hetzers, and if we were to ditch the Panzer IVs, that gives us 73 points still. Put an OP in. You can decide what OP you want. I mean, they all just do the same sort of thing. If you want a Panzer III or a half track, I mean, Panzer III probably gives you a little bit more armor. It's just a bit bigger, so it's not as easy to hide. I know, 4563. What does the 4563? Yeah, so it gives you exactly the same. We'll just say half track, but you can obviously change that. That's not really a big concern. We could... What about if we put in a plane? So the ME-262 gives you anti-tank of 6 with its 30mm guns, firepower of 4 plus, or 500 kg bombs, anti-tank 4, firepower of 2 plus. The 3.7cm Stuka, anti-tank of 9, firepower of 4 plus, that's hitting on side. Anti-tank 9. That's not too bad. Dive bomber we're not interested in. If we went, you may field a unit. Oh no, allied unit, we don't need that. If we go D-Day Waffen SS, what's a Panzer IV SS tank platoon giving us? No, so the Clausewitz ones are cheaper. Bulge formation support, so we could go the Volksgrenadier. Is that even an option on here? Panzer IV SS tank platoon on here? No, it's still the same. Okay, interesting. So I think we definitely want the Panzer IVs. There's something medium. I'm just having a look. What about the Stugs? 3 for 13. So you get 3 Stugs for 13. Anti-tank 11. Or do you go the Stu? No, anti-tank 10. 11, but firepower of 2 plus. No, I still don't like. I think I don't like even platoons of 3 medium tanks. I think that's just a bit too weak. What about the Panzer IV training platoon? 4 for 13. This is more like it. Hit on 3s though. But if you're going to be aggressive, why not go for it? Skill 5 plus confident 4, but they do remount on the 3, which is nice. Yeah, what about if we went 4 for the training platoon? Bearing in mind this is more Berlin themed, so we've got our hardcore Panthers, even though they've not got the greatest stats. Hetzer Training Company 4, 11 points. We've got our OP and we just need reconnaissance. Surely we can squeeze reconnaissance in for 2 points. Yes, okay, cool. So you get 2 SDKs, 250 MGs and a triple 15mm. Reluctant 5, last stand 6, counterattack 6, veteran 3, assault 4, careful hit on a 4, and then you've got the stats there. So let's just select those for the sake of selecting those, but we'll just see what else is in there. SDKs are 2, 3, 4. We only got 2 points, so it'd be 2, so I don't think that's worth doing. The SS version 2. Let's have a look. The SS version is 3, 4, 5, 4, 3. The one we've got now is 5, 6, 6, 3, 4, 4. Okay, so the stats are slightly different. SDKs are 250 scout troop. Stats are the same amount of points. They just got the 2 centimeters instead. I think I prefer the SS over what we've got here. I don't like this. Yeah, let's clear this one. Let's go the SS Scout Troop. I'm not really bothered about my reconnaissance being hit on my scouts being hit on a 3+, because for me their biggest job is at the start of the game with that spearhead, and they're not normally people's concerns at the start. So if we go to like that, what's that giving us? So we've got real heavy artillery and an OP, plus we've got the Panzer IV. Okay, so do I want to tweak this list at all? Bearing in mind, we've got... Yeah, I think this is a good attacking list, you know? A really good attacking list, especially if you can get a night fighting mission. If you can keep your tanks close to that ooh, or ow. That's what I'm called now. As long as we're in 6 inches, I think it was. Let's just make sure I'm reading this rule correctly. So to do this unit with an IR, yeah. All units with IR may shoot at the target without rolling for night. Okay. Oh, so they need the searchlight in order to make the most of the ooh. Is how I understand it. All right, so it's still not going to be, but you can still use the Panthers. So it might even be worth. Oh, so my confusion is the team's within 6 inches of the target team. So you get like a 6-inch beam that you can shoot at. Okay. But still, I like this list. I really like this list for attacking. This is a good list. It's vulnerable, but it's good. So we've got the HQ, we've got the Panzersturm platoon. Again, aggressive. They've got STG 44s. You've got the triple 15mm, again, aggressive option of getting some infantry pinned and quickly. That's a lot of dice on infantry, gun teams, etc. Then we got the 7.5cm gun. You get 6 of those. Again, a really good 89 half-track, cheap. As long as that gets a couple of kills, bang, you've made up the 6 points that you've spent on it. As long as you can... A good day is doubling that. So say you take 6 points, but that kills 12, then you've done really well. If you take 6 and you get 6, then it's a moderate outcome. That's the way I look at it. So then we've got the 3 Panthers. We know Panthers are good. They're really good. They're priced accordingly. You know, they're probably a bit overpriced. It might even be an option to take those Jagd Panthers. It might be even stupid taking these Panthers when those Jagd Panthers have got a high 80, even though their front armor isn't as good. So yeah, am I just convincing myself to take those Jagd Panthers? I do like the forts of 80, 17. We do save 2 points if we do that. No, 1 point. We could put that towards lucky. 5, 6, 3 and 4. No. 5, 6. So there's the counter-attack, 3 and 4, assault on a 4+, but would we be using those to assault? They are only forward firing though. 80-17 though, guys, that is really tempting. 80-14, firepower 3+, range of 40 inches. Sorry, I'm going between the two quite a lot. 48 inches. You could snipe. No, but the ooh needs to get closer. No, I'm going to keep the Panthers as much as I feel like that's a real toss-up, that one, if I should go Panthers or Jagd Panthers. Let me know below. But we've got those, and we've got the Hummels. Hummels are deadly. I don't think we went over the Hummels. Let's just double make sure I went over the Hummels. I can't remember if I did or not. So 12 points, yeah, I didn't go over them. So they're fearless free, veteran free. They don't assault or counter, obviously. Front armor 2, so you got a little bit of protection, side and rear 1. But artillery is anti-tank free, firepower of 2+. So if you've got dug-in guns, these things are going to destroy them. And then you've got the direct fire. So if you want to be really cheeky, perhaps you might be able to hide them away long enough that you can sneak them around. Get a halted rate of fire. You can't move, obviously. 80-11 firepower auto. So this is absolutely a last resort that you'll be using it as like a gun, again, like a static gun or whatever, but the RT on this is great, bearing in mind that it's that good that this is probably going to be one of the first things people target with their artillery. So you're going to want to use these effectively, and again, make up those 12 points worth back. So if they've got a heavy 80 dug in, then obviously you're going to be targeting those first, get rid of that. But 80 inches, that's pretty much the whole table worth. Alright, so we've got the Hummels, then we've got the Scout Troop. Yeah, that's nothing to really go crazy. Two 2cm guns. It's going to keep little tiny half tracks and that away, plus the MG. Then we've got they are going to be poor, but the 4 Panthers and the Panzers, and the 4 Hetzers. So they're 80-11. I think the Hetzer has slightly better front armor, but obviously the stats aren't as good as the Panzer 4 because of the point cost. But that's just giving us a bit of cannon fodder that can also pack a pretty good punch to deal with stuff like T-34s or Shermans, whilst your Panthers are doing the rest of the heavy attacking. So yeah, really like this list. This is a good list, guys. I'm really gravitating towards maybe taking something very, very similar to this in the future. Let me know below what you make of this list. Is this something that you would also consider? Yeah, this one really does excite me a bit more. This one and the Royal Marines one that we recently looked at, I did like that one too. Huge thank you goes out to my Patrons and YouTube channel members. You guys are absolutely awesome. Special mention goes out to Oscar, Patrick and Panzer Jim for being those Panzer Aces. You blokes are awesome. I'm going to leave it here, guys. Don't forget to let me know in the comments section which force you'd like to see next, or on social media, whatever you want to do. Just let me know and I'll try and get one done. Until then, I will catch you at the next one.